Hi Gemini, how are you? I hope that you are doing well. If you are new, welcome. My name is Nina or Sinfulpluto, and if you're returning, welcome back. Thank you for joining us again today. I hope that you enjoy your stay here with us. And I hope that you are able to receive a message that you need for the next 2 weeks. This is going to apply for Gemini Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter in Tropical and Sidereal. If you don't know what your placements are, you can go ahead to astro.com and they will give you all of the information that you need to know. So yeah, this reading is going to apply for the dates between September 9th through the 22nd, okay? So let's just get right into it. So, Gemini, we have a full moon in Pisces that will be squaring you. It's going to be a very powerful full moon. So if you follow me on Twitter, I posted a little, I guess like a quick tip, a little thread, I guess you could say, on how to, go ahead with any sort of releasing that you want to do with the full moon. So if you want to, go ahead and check that out. But yeah, let's just get into it, yeah? So, Gemini, what is in store for you? Oh my goodness, sorry, that was way too many cards. What is in store for Gemini between September 9th through the 22nd? Alright, that was quick. Alright, we've got the Page of Swords, reversed. The Nine of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, and the Seven of Pentacles. So we'll go ahead with these cards for now, and then we'll get a little bit deeper into it later on, okay? I'm going to try to make this video not as long because the past videos have been a little bit lengthy, but I hope that you're okay with that. So I know that Geminis are probably going to be like fast forwarding this, so I'm sorry. All right, so Page of Swords reversed. This to me can signify a few things. This can signify someone who kind of gives up before even trying. Someone who kind of looks at the adversity at hand and they look at it as just adversity. They don't look at it as an opportunity to prove themselves. So this could be you, Gemini. Maybe some of you are kind of feeling a little bit overwhelmed, feeling very scatterbrained, if you will, and feeling as though you're just not grounded at all, in which case work on grounding yourself. Again, there's a thread on Twitter that I made all about grounding yourself and working on your root chakra. So if you're into that, go to my Twitter at Sinfulpluto and it'll have all of the information that you need, okay? So Page of Swords can also signify that. The Page of Swords reversed can also signify to me a lack of communication or miscommunication, spreading misinformation, gossiping, saying one thing but you're going to do another. So I feel like you're on the verge of some sort of breakthrough because I have the Nine of Pentacles and I have the Seven of Pentacles. So I feel like you have been working very hard, but there's something that's holding you back from reaching this ultimate Nine of Pentacles or the ultimate Ten of Pentacles, essentially. There's something that's holding you back from reaching that ultimate stability, that ultimate foundation of basically having your 2 feet on the ground. For some of you, it could just be the fact that you're not planning things out very well. Maybe some of you are jumping the gun. You're jumping the gun and you're not thinking things through. You're overestimating your ability, I think. Some of you could be doing that. And I feel like some of you might be overestimating your intellectual ability, especially. And I feel that some of you could be some of you could even be very cruel with your words. Some of you could be just snapping at people for no particular reason, or even just saying really rude things just because it gives you a temporary sense of pleasure or a temporary sense of satisfaction. And that could be what is holding you back from ultimately reaching your stability. It's just this overall kind of cruelness, this cruel sort of energy, just being really rude, being really snarky, maybe even saying certain things because you want to get a reaction out of people, because I know that you tend to do that. You like to trigger other people, or you like to push buttons because it gives you a sense of satisfaction, knowing that you can control other people. But it comes from a place of emotional immaturity, and it comes from a place of it just comes from a place of emotional immaturity, essentially. So I want to clarify the Page of Swords reversed, actually, and get further insight into this card. So let's go into that. Can we clarify this Page of Swords reversed? Can we clarify this Page of Swords reversed? Alright. Oh, 2 cards. So we have the Three of Swords reversed and the Seven of Wands. So I feel like some of you could be lashing out against other people because of some sort of heartbreak or pain that you have been going through, whether it's external or internal. Maybe there's something that you have been harboring within yourself, and you have been kind of projecting that onto other people. And maybe you feel as though there's just this internal battle within yourself with this Seven of Wands, and maybe you feel as though the world is just against you, and maybe you feel that people are just pushing against you, and there's a lot of friction going on, and maybe that's why you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, and maybe that's why you're just snapping back at people, because there's just so much going on that you can't even focus on one sort of thing. And maybe that's why we are struggling a little bit to get to this Nine of Pentacles, because I have the Ace of Wands, and then under that, the Ace of Pentacles, and then under that, Judgment. And I feel like you're being presented with really wonderful opportunities, and I feel like you're being presented with a new life, with a new way of being, but I feel like some of you are either just really being impulsive. I feel like you're not really thinking things through. I feel that things just aren't really going your way or the way that you would want them to. It almost kind of feels like I said, you're just on the verge of giving up, but it's like the journey hasn't even started yet, and you're already kind of like out of breath, or you're just feeling that you can't do it. You're doubting yourself a lot, I feel. Let's get into this Nine of Pentacles. Usually the Nine of Pentacles to me is just like you're so close to reaching your goal. You're so close to reaching your goal, and some of you could even feel kind of lonely, because with the Nine of Pentacles, there's only that one person, and yes, she has all of her pentacles, but she has no one to share that wealth with. And so I feel like some of you may have pushed people away, either because of your own words, or maybe because you just have been isolating yourself in trying to focus, or in trying to be determined, but I feel that that's just not really working out in your favor. So let's see. Can we clarify this Nine of Pentacles, please? There's just a sense of loneliness and disappointment with this. I have the Hermit reverse. Literally, what did I say? You have no one to share your wealth with, and I feel like it's because you've been pushing people away. You haven't. Maybe some of you have been a little bit selfish, and maybe you feel as though certain people don't deserve it because maybe of what they have said to you in the past. But I feel like that's not a very fair treatment, because, the major lesson I think for you right now at this time is to learn that maybe someone hasn't treated you the right way, but that doesn't mean that you have to continue reflecting that. You can learn to have, I think, unconditional love for someone, or respect for someone, or just treat them the way that you want to be treated. And you don't have to like this person, but if you're treating them like a human being, and if you're treating them kindly, even if they're not treating you the way you deserve to be treated, it doesn't mean that you have to be, kissing their ass. That's not what it means. But treating them with respect, and treating them the way, you would want them to treat you. Even, and like I said, that I think that's a lot harder. That's a lot easier said than done, because, if someone is treating you wrong, of course you're going to react badly. But I feel that when we don't react impulsively, or when we don't react out of the habit of when we grow outside of the habit of reacting negatively, or reacting harshly towards someone who's not treating us well, I feel that not only do we learn self-discipline, but I feel that we are welcome with a lot more abundance. But anyways, so we have the Hermit reversed. You could be dealing with a Gemini, but with a Virgo, but I also feel like the Hermit reversed kind of resonates with the Page of Swords reversed, and kind of symbolizes how you could be omitting information. You could be being a little bit sneaky. You could be kind of saying things to get your way, saying things so that you can kind of so that you can kind of accumulate all of this wealth, or this status, or reputation, or, kind of keep up some sort of image. But I feel like it's all a lie. It's all a facade. It's not really true. It's not really valid. And I feel that you have portrayed yourself as a certain person, maybe because you have a hard time accepting yourself. Maybe because you have a hard time showing people the real you for whatever reason that is. Maybe you don't want people getting close to you because of something that has happened in the past and has caused you a lot of heartbreak. But I feel that there's a need to heal this because I have the Three of Swords and the Five of Cups, both reversed. I feel like there's a need for you to heal whatever it is that is causing you to not only push people away so much to the point that you are completely isolated and you don't have anyone to share your wealth with. I also feel like you need to work on being more honest, need to work on being more truthful, you need to work on being more direct, but also learning not to be so rude or cruel with your words, because as you know, you're an intellectual, of course, and you know what to say to push people's buttons, you know what to say to get your way, you know what to say to essentially win an argument or to hurt people's feelings. And I know that a lot of you don't really regret hurting people's feelings. It gives you a sense of satisfaction being able to basically trigger them. And I feel that you kind of need to work on that, and you need to work on being a little bit more compassionate, being a little bit more kind, being a little bit more empathetic. And I think that all just starts within the self, essentially. But anyways, we have the Knight of Wands, which talks about independence to me. I really do see you on this path, on this streak of independence. You're going your own way. You're doing your own thing. You feel free, you feel liberated. I feel like this is something that has been building up for a very long time. I feel like you are on your way to greatness, but just remember that this is just a knight. This is not a queen. This is not a king. You know, you are still learning a lot. And I feel with this Hermit especially, you might feel as if you know everything. You might feel as though you don't need any sort of advice from anyone. And maybe you feel that other people's advice is like an obstacle. Or maybe you feel that people are against you or working against you because they are kind of saying or advising you to do certain things. Maybe you feel as though they're trying to control you, but that's not the case. I feel like people are trying to guide you and to advise you because they see you being reckless. They see you making little mistakes. They see you overestimating yourselves. They see you and your ego inflating as you move along. And it's great that you're making progress, but it's the type of progress I think that's really important here. If you're kind of just zooming through and not appreciating the scenery, if you're just zooming through and not learning anything, if you're just going through the path and you're not taking your time and you're kind of just rushing through it, that's not the way to do it. You have to sometimes slow down a little bit. And it doesn't mean that you have to go at a turtle pace. It just means that you need to slow down. You need to appreciate the scenery. You need to learn your lessons, appreciate the lessons, acknowledge them, and be open to learning from other people, because once you get in this position of like, I know everything, I know exactly what I need to do, then there's no one else that can help you. You basically reach a stalemate eventually. You eventually reach a point of stagnancy because you don't want to accept new knowledge. You think that you know everything, but you don't. No one ever does. No one knows every single thing, and that's why it's so important to continue learning, to continue being open to learn from other people, to listen to advisors, to mentors, to maybe gurus or to teachers or whoever, to parents, to friends who have gone through the same thing that you have. Be open to listening to other people's advice, to learning from other people's experiences, so that you don't have to mess up so much, because inevitably mistakes will be made. Absolutely. However, you can minimize the mistakes that you made by learning from other people. But if you continue having the mindset that you know everything, that you don't need anyone's help, that you are just this wisest person, the wisest being on this earth, then not only do you come off as very arrogant, but no one is going to want to help you. No, eventually people will give up and they'll stop talking to you, and then eventually one way or another you're going to hit a roadblock and you're going to need someone's help, and people probably won't want to help you because they'll think, oh, well, this person has a stink attitude. Like, they think that they know everything, so why should I even help them, So it's important to be very mindful of that. And so we have the Seven of Pentacles, which to me just signifies that there's still a lot of patience that needs to be had. There's still a lot of building that needs to be, made. You're not there yet. You're at the Nine of Pentacles. You're not there yet. You're not at the 10 of Pentacles. You haven't reached ultimate stability. You're still on your way, on your path to learning. You're on your path to greatness, but you're not there yet. So there's no need to think that you are just this almighty being. And I'm sure that you are a very powerful being, but overestimating yourself will really get you into a lot of trouble here. All right? Okay. My goodness gracious. And so I think I'm going to go ahead and shuffle a little bit more for you. Let's move these here. Some of you might be like saying kind of like unpopular opinions or a little bit controversial things, and that could be getting you a little bit into trouble. However, if that's the case, I feel like you'll be fine. Again, the way that you word things and the tone that you use really changes the impact that you make. Because if you're saying things very just crude, like not crude, but like rudely or just very cruelly, and you're not being mindful of the words that you're using, you're probably either, one, not going to have any support from other people. People are not going to want to listen to you or just be around you or, you know, like be your friend or whatever. It's very important to be mindful of your words, so not only that people can listen to you, but they can, you know, want to be near you. And so that they are build up the desire to help you. You know, it's that sort of thing. So that's very important, I think. I think that it's important also to have a plan. If you don't have a solid plan, if you haven't actually thought things through, if you're just jumping into things without any sort of idea of where you're going and what you're doing and who you're going to meet and who you need to meet or talk to or network with, then you're fucking yourself over, essentially. It's important that you have a very solid, clear plan, that you have a backup plan, that you have a plan B, plan C, plan D, that you have multiple plans and ideas and strategies so that you know exactly what you're doing, so that you are well informed, and so that you are learning to, that you're just learning in general, that you're learning. So there's that. Alrighty, so what other messages do we need for Gemini for the next... Jesus Christ, dude. Alrighty. What other messages does Gemini need to hear for the next 2 weeks between September 9th through the 22nd? What other messages does Gemini need for the next 2 weeks between... Will that fail? Alright, we have the Knight of Swords. So this is you being relentless, which is good. It's good for you to be relentless. It's good for you to be persistent, to be very determined and going ahead. However, I want to warn you again of not rushing into anything, of not just diving in without any sort of idea of what you're getting yourself into. Inform yourself, do your research. Use your mind. Use your mind. You know, that's your best tool. Use your mind wisely. That's it. And then we have the King of Swords. And I like the transition between the Knight and the King, because this tells me not only intellectual maturity, but I just see you growing as a person. You know, you're using a lot more strategy. I feel like you're learning to slow down. And I feel like you will learn within the next 2 weeks when to stop and when to go. You will learn how to strategize, how to plan, how to move forward, how to move, essentially. You're going to learn how to use your mind a lot more efficiently and how to get yourself to where you want to be. And I feel like you are going to learn how to be the voice of reason for yourself and how you will use logic and rational thought to your advantage. And I also feel like you are going to be learning a lot. And I feel like you are going to learn the value behind ethics and the value behind having a sense of honor and not just doing things the easy way or doing things like doing things dirty, right? You know, like getting your hands dirty, and like kind of getting blood on your hands essentially. And I'm not talking about like literal blood, but I'm saying like just doing things the moral and ethical way rather than the way that's easier, rather than the way that everyone does because it's easier or because it has a shortcut. This isn't about shortcuts. This is about doing things right, doing things by the book. So I feel like that's a major lesson that you are going to be learning. And I feel like with the Hierophant reversed, you could be dealing with a Taurus or a Capricorn, but I just feel like you will be learning, you'll be doing things unconventionally. You'll be, rather than walking forward, you'll be kind of walking sideways in the sense that you're just going to be walking different. You're going to be doing things differently. You're going to be doing things that are not conventional to normal society. And that will benefit you. But also I feel like you're restructuring your views, your morals. I feel like there's a major restructure in how, in your beliefs in general, whether it's religious, spiritual, excuse me, I see an evolution in your intellectual mind, in your rational mind, essentially. That's what it is. And I feel like you're going to value independence a lot, but I also feel like you are going to make sure that you're not involving yourself in like superficial things or in superficial like friendships or groups or in things that don't provide any sort of value. You're going to go into things with a plan. You're going to go into things thinking, what can I gain from this intellectually or mentally? Does that kind of make sense to you? It's not just jumping into things and, you know, being like, oh, whatever, just winging it. It's not about winging it, I feel like. So let's get into the oracles, into wisdom of the oracle, and let's see what other messages we have for you, Gemini. I feel like some of you also, my God. One moment. My gosh. Okay. Also with this Seven of Wands, now that I think, you know, just now that I'm like kind of looking at it, my dear God. Some of you could be rising up against some sort of really strong system or structure or like government thing, institution is the word, or a very strong authoritative figure. So this could be like, for example, a priest or a government official or sometimes even dad. I feel like there's just a rise against the conventional. There's a rise against the norm. There's a rise against what has been so deeply embedded into your life or into society. And I feel like a lot of you are kind of going against that. And you're going to be seen as the underdog, Seven of Wands, but you're going to be very relentless against this King of Swords. Some of you could be, you know, going against the King of Swords. In which case you have to be very wise as to what you do. You have to be very observant as to the moves that this person makes, because yes, you have passion and yes, you have speed, but this person has wisdom, and that is the ultimate key to all of this. This person is wise. This person has gone through many battles. This person has been in your position. So they know what to expect from you, but you don't know what to expect from them. So that's why you need to keep your ears open. That's why this is why you need to be willing to learn. That is why you need to be listening to other people's advice, so that when you get into this fight or this argument, or once you stand up against this person or this institution or this system, whatever it is, you're ready and you're prepared, and you actually have a fair shot at winning. Because right now it's not really fair. We have a young person and we have someone who has already gone through everything that you have. They already know what to see from you. They already know what to expect from you, but you have no idea what to expect from them. And that's why you need to be open ears in learning from other people, listening to other advice, so that you can break down and break free from this structure, from this institution, from whatever it is that has been deeply embedded into the society or within your life that you want to break free of, that you want to essentially free yourself from it. So there's that. So what messages does Gemini need based on the present energy for the next 2 weeks? What confirmation or messages can we give to Gemini? All right. We've got a card. All right, we have not for you. Interesting. And then we have unfinished symphony at the bottom of the deck. All right, so not for you is basically, it's a very obvious card. It's saying that right now is not the right time for something. So this to me resonates with the fact that if some of you are not ready, if some of you are still in the middle of planting, of doing groundwork, of building yourself up, and, planning and strategizing, right now is not the time to be going at it. Right now is not the time to be the Knight of Wands. Right now is not the time to be the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Swords. Right now is not that time. Right now is the time to learn, to build, to be patient, to build up your endurance, to build self-discipline. Right now is a time for using your intellectuality, your intellectualism to your advantage, and to build upon that, and to create a strong plan, to be honest with yourself, and to just be willing to learn. So, right now is a time of learning. Right now it's classroom time. Right now it's just learning time. Right now is not the time to be, citing all of the wisdom that you have, because you don't have any wisdom right now. Maybe you do, but it's very little compared to what this King of Swords has. You have very little experience, and right now you need to be building up experience, and by doing that, it's by learning from other people's mistakes, from other people's experiences, from learning from their advice, and learning from also your own experiences. However, if you're just jumping the gun without any sort of plan, and if you are overestimating yourself, and if you're just winging everything, then things aren't going to work out in your favor. You need to finish things up. You need to tie things up. Unfinished symphony. You need to tie things up, tie up any sort of loose ends within your mind. You need to create connections. You need to network with other people. You need to be sharing your wealth, and building up your stability, so that you can go into the next 2 weeks fully prepared for whatever it is that you're building up to. Because I do see a sense of building up to something. And I feel like it's some sort of battle, so to speak, or some sort of argument or confrontation, or cutting something off, right? That's something that you need to do. So that is something that is very important for you to be keeping in mind. All right, so I'm going to go ahead with some affirmations for Gemini. What affirmations does Gemini need for the next 2 weeks that resonates with the current energy? What is an affirmation that Gemini needs that resonates with the current energy for the next 2 weeks? These were too many over here. All right, so we have no need to do. I am exactly where I need to be, exactly when I need to be. There's nothing more I need to do. I mean, yes, there will always be laundry and taxes, but in terms of my life's path, I don't need to do anything because I am already here. I take a deep breath, relax, and trust, and then do laundry. And then we have divine timing. Everything is timing, and timing is everything. Gladly, I release my concern over timing and let things happen when and as they will. I trust that the divine schedule makers know what they're doing. It can take a long time to reach divine middle management. So, 2 very important messages for you, Gemini. I hope that this resonates with you. If it does, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your feedback, your stories, all of it. Give the video a big thumbs up. Share with your friends, family, loved ones, classmates, teachers, I don't know, your dog, your neighbor. And subscribe, hit the bell notification if you desire to know when I upload my videos. And if you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do so at sinfulpluto.com. And make sure to read all of the policies, terms and conditions, things like that, just so that you're well informed as to what you're getting yourself into. Make sure to read the description of the listing. Make sure you know the difference between all the readings and to know which one you want to choose, whatever, all of that stuff. If you want to follow me on social media, you can do so on Twitter and Instagram at Sinfulpluto. And any other information that you need to know or want to know will be in the description bar, so go ahead and read there if you desire. And I think that's it. So, Gemini, make sure to take care of yourself. Make sure to heed this advice, to listen to this advice so that you don't end up getting yourself into a mess that you don't know how to clean up. So, I think that's it, my loves. I will talk to you soon. Drink lots of water. Read a book. Observe other people. Get enough sleep, get enough rest, and I will see you soon.